Yes, he's amazing and all. I don't know if I like it. Oh, no! He got him! Oh my God! He brought the play before he was.
In play, that's a fair ball to Jacob. What a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Tie game! 60. That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes the great play from Peter McNeil.
Justice already took advantage of that. What a play over at third.
He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out. Jordan Rice heads out. Trey Cluxton right. Went over to first and still gets Alex Hard.
Come on, get out, ball later!
And he might have just missed it. Got it wrong from Jordan Rice. And that's a shot. That's a what a play.
In play, that's a fair ball to Jacob. What a play from Jacob! And that is destroyed! Tie game! That's in play down the third baseline. Peter makes the great play from Peter McNeil.
To that. What a play over at third.
That's in play, and he might have just missed it. Caught it wrong from Jordan Rice.
Cross, get out, ball later!
And that ball is out of here. Walk-off home run. Oh, top for the out as Barrett's coming home. And he hits it. And that's a shot. Zach Conway. He's running third. He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out. Flipped over to first. I don't know if I like it.
Flips to first. Oh, a moonshot. Oh, he rolled it! Flare it up. What a play for Peter McNeil!
What is going on, AWA fans, and welcome to AWA Field. We are here for the Central Cyclones versus the Southern Stingers. Both teams are 2-1 here today, and it's going to be a great matchup between these two teams. This is your broadcast team. I'm Mark Campanero, joined alongside Chase Winkler, and we'll be broadcasting the game for everybody here today. Going to be a great matchup between these two teams. And story of the day, Peter McNeil, team captain of the Southern Stingers. He's back today, Chase. Going to be a huge addition for them.
It's going to be exciting, you know, coming off that injury, making his debut. We'll see how he comes out pitching. You know, he was dominant last year in the World Series, really took it to another level, and be a huge addition for the Stingers if he can keep that going this year.
Looks like he's going to be starting on the mound for game number 1 for the Southern Stingers. And we're going to get into the starting lineups tonight. For the Central Cyclones, Evan Clugston will be on the mound pitching. He will hit first for the Cyclones. Zane Phillips will be DHing. Jackson Carr will hit 3. Alex Ballard 4. And Jeremy Lankstead rounds out the team hitting 5. That's your Central Cyclones lineup for tonight. For the Southern Stingers, Jordan Rice will be pitching. Barrett Carlo hitting second, playing third. Cole Blevins hitting third, playing first. And Houston Schmutz, unfortunately, won't be able to be here tonight. Drew Tenzar is back for the Southern Stingers. And Peter McNeil, as we mentioned, will be here tonight as well for the Stingers. Those are your starting lineups here tonight. Going to be a great, great matchup between these two teams. I'm very excited to see Peter McNeil back, and also Drew Tenzar for the Southern Stingers. Drew was an excellent, excellent addition for this Stingers team last year, and it'll be a fun, fun matchup between these teams. First pitch is going to start momentarily. Evan Clugston leads it off for the Central Cyclones. Again, both teams 2-1 on the season. Both teams performed very well thus far this year. Peter, he's sporting, looks like he's got a knee brace on from that horrible injury he had a few seasons ago. Also having some ankle issues. If you were playing fantasy wiffle ball with us on Player Trader, you'll notice that Peter was listed as questionable on the list tonight, but he is here and ready to pitch. So if you put him in your lineups, get ready because you're going to get rewarded.
Yes, you are. I mean, if you were counting down to the minute, is he in, is he out? You know, I know we all deal with that on Sunday, but he's ended up playing today and he's ready to go.
Yes, he is. About to get this game number 1 underway. 3-game series between the Cyclones and the Stingers. Both teams 2-1. First pitch from Peter is outside for ball 1. 1-0 here to Evan Clugston. Swing and a miss there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Evan Clugston had an incredible series about a week ago, and that's ripped off the top of the left field fence. Evan Clugston just barely missing a home run to start the game. It's going to be a long single for him, and right before he hit that, I was about to mention he's been hitting the ball all over the field. A couple of home runs last series against the Mojo, and he starts it off here with a almost home run to left field.
Yeah, Evan with 2 home runs last series, and I mean, he was no more than 6 inches away from his 3rd one of the season right there, so looking good, starting off the day well for the for the Cyclones.
Rookie Zane Phillips for the Cyclones. Count is 0-2 on him as he swings. Oh, was it a speed check on that? And if you're wondering what happened there was a speed check on the 2nd strike of the at-bat. It was 61 miles per hour. Count is 1-2 to Zane Phillips. Popped up into the air in foul territory. Get out of play.
Dominic would
Count
have
remains
almost
1 ball
tore
and
his
2
ACL
strikes.
and also
Maybe a little adrenaline going for Peter here, gassing up the radar gun early in the at-bat. He's 6 pitches in, hit the radar gun twice already. See if we can calm it down.
I'm glad the Cyclones said something.
It's not easy to tell up here.
I know,
Well,
well,
we got so many screens up here.
It projects it out to everybody else. It doesn't
Yeah.
project it out to us, unfortunately. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zane Phillips as he swings and misses. For strike 3 right there. Zane Phillips down on strikes. 1 away here in the top of the 1st. Alex Ballard up for the Cyclones as he looks at ball 1. Great curveball there from Peter. It's a zone, 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Ballard. Just a bit inside, 2-1. And Ballard performed well as well for the Cyclones last series. A rookie, another rookie for the Cyclones.
Had the walk-off home run. Take home the series for the Cyclones.
2-2 to Ballard. Swing and a miss. Peter McNeil, back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away.
Very
On the
impressive
top of the first.
after giving up that long single. He's sat down the 2 rookies back-to-back.
It was funny, you know, when Evan Cluxton hit that, he didn't even look too excited. I think he knew immediately off the bat it was going to be too low for a home run.
You've got that tall wall out there and left. You've got to get under it a little bit, or hit the tree at least.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the tree, only 78 down the line over there and left for the foul pole, but about another, what would you say, about 10?
Give or take,
yeah,
8-10 feet.
10 feet, something like that. Jeremy Langsted up for the Cyclones. He swings and misses. 0-1. That is inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now to Langsted. Swing and a miss there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peter now ahead. Ball is ripped over to Jordan Rice. It bounces right in front of him. Tries to go 1, can't make the play. Jeremy Langsted is going to advance to second. Cole Blevins tries to tag him out, can't get him. Evan Cluxton scores, and Jeremy Langsted's going to go all the way around and score. What should have been a single ends up becoming an inside the park home run off of errors.
Those were errors, that was a home run.
The Stingers maybe just need to learn when to just shut it down and let the runners stay where they're at, you know, and just move on to the next batter. But they felt like they could get the guys out there.
That's incredible. What looked like just a routine single. Stingers trying to throw it all around the yard. And 2 runs score for the Cyclones here in the first. What a weird change of offense there.
Easy first 2 runs for the Cyclones. They'll take that with 2 outs every day of the week.
That could really come back to bite the Stingers. That's tough. Ground ball down the third base side. Tenzar not able to field it cleanly, and Evan Cluxton has his 2nd single of the day. Cyclones with a runner on first with 2 away. Zane Phillips to the plate.
Yeah, I think Peter's going to start working outside the zone against Evan here.
Hey, hold on. Let's pause. Yeah, what's going on?
We're going to take a pause here momentarily. We're having some technical difficulties on the YouTube side of things. But as we are at this pause, if you're on TikTok, make sure you head on over to YouTube. You can check out our YouTube link in the TikTok bio. We will be back momentarily. Again, score 2-0. Cyclones lead it. 2 outs, runner on first. Early 2-0 lead for the Cyclones. If you just recently joined us, we're currently working on some technical difficulties with the stream, and I've just been informed that we're all good to go. We're good to resume.
Hey, we're good. Hey, Peter. We're good.
good to go. 2-0 against Cyclones. Cyclones scoring 2 runs off what should have been a Jeremy Langstead single. Turned into an inside the park home run after the Cyclones threw it around multiple times. Pitch hits the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Zane Phillips. Ripped down the third base side. Past Drew Tenzar. That's a single for Zane Phillips. Runners now on first and second for the Cyclones, and they just continue to extend this 2-out rally.
Oh yeah, I got a little 2-out rally going here. Starting to see the ball well, getting through the lineup once now, and starting to see Peter a little bit.
Alex Ballard looks at strike 1. Curveball missing there, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's that devastating curve that when Peter gets it going, it's almost impossible to hit.
That pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And you mentioned it, Chase. I mean, that curveball, when it's hitting, Peter is one of the best pitchers in the league when that's hitting.
It's so different from this slider that you see a lot of guys have. I mean, it's a true curveball. I mean, it comes over the top and kind of just slowly bends in and drops. And
Bring him home.
comes right over your shoulder, and it's just hard to keep track of.
It is. And Peter very effective with his riser. Normally always has that working for him, but when he adds in that curveball, like you mentioned, it just makes him that much better. Bases loaded for Jeremy Langstead. Langstead now behind 0-2. Swing and a miss there, and Peter strikes out Jeremy Langstead to get himself out of a jam. But the Cyclones, they score 2 runs in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of 1 here in game number 1.
No air. Yeah, no air. Okay. I agree with that. Those nearly fielder's choice.
Jordan Rice leads it off for the Stingers, bottom of the first. Looks at strike 1 there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jordan Rice.
Yeah. Any warm up? I think it's 1-on-1. You're good. It's 1-on-1. You're fine.
That's low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Rice. Makes the top part of the zone. That's tough.
First look at Evan today. He's looking pretty good so far.
2-2. Ground ball past Cluxton on the mound. Zane Phillips tries to barehand it, but is not able to field it cleanly. Jordan Rice get on. Runner on first, nobody out.
Drew, you're next.
Okay.
Not like that home run.
We have, oh no, Barrett's here. What's up, Barrett? What's up, Mark? How you doing? Good, how are you? Good.
Barrett Carlo now up for the Stingers, runner on. Close that one off. And there's been a lot of murmuring around the league over the last couple of weeks, and everybody's been talking about Evan Cluxton. And what they've been saying is that everybody's saying that he's the best pitcher in the league this year so far. Ground ball over to Zane Phillips at third. He throws to first. It's not going to be in time to get Barrett Carlo safe on infield single. Runners on first and second. We're going to get to see the first at-bat from Drew Tenzar.
And like you were saying, Evan's highly regarded as the best pitcher in the league, and here we are, first you guys getting on base hits right there for the Stingers. So switch him out right here. Runners on Tenzar out there.
difficult. He's very difficult. And if there's one player in the league that I'd have some nightmares about before I face him, it'd be Evan Cluxton, that's for sure. Strike 3 there to Tenzar.
Oh, don't get him mad.
Like you said right there, that's the reason. I mean,
Round number 1.
quick 1, 2, 3, 3 different pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, sir.
Later, and that's what Evan Cluxton can do to you. 1 away, runners on first and second. Cole Blevins coming up to the plate for the Stingers. He looks at strike 1. The nasty riser there from Evan. 0-1. Drop misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Great job there from Cole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slider hits the zone.
That's strike 3. Yeah.
Hits the zone. Cole Blevins strikes out.
That was quick.
Back to back. Strikeouts for Evan Cluxton. There's 2 away. Bottom of the first. Peter McNeil will step in for his first at-bat of the 2023 season. Looking to help himself out here. Stingers down 2 runs early in game 1.
Teammates are basically telling him they'd like to see him go long his first at-bat. That'd be something pretty special.
Be pretty cool. Now, Peter electing to hit 5 tonight. He said, I'm injured. I don't want to be running too much.
Kind of a rehab game almost, in a sense.
But he's out here, and we'll see what he can do tonight for the Stingers. 3-0.
Gotta be yours, man.
Evan Cluxton appears to be staying away from McNeil. That's way outside. A 4-pitch walk to Peter McNeil, and the Stingers have the bases loaded. Back to the top of the order with Jordan Rice.
Jordan ripped a single to the left side of the field in his first at-bat. He'll be looking to do that again against Evan, score some runs.
Be massive. Pitch to Jordan Rice is outside for ball 1, 1-0. The count. That hits the zone for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Drop ball, ground ball over to Jeremy Lankstead, and he's able to tag Peter McNeil out for out number 3. No runs score in the bottom of the first. Cyclones still lead it 2-0. We go to the top of 2. Cluxton up for the Cyclones. He's looking at an 0-2 count now, 1-2 to Evan Cluxton. There was a speed check. 3-1 is the count to Evan Cluxton. Knuckle ball in there from Peter McNeil. Brings the count full.
Didn't look like Evan was swinging anything on that.
Tries the knuckleball again, and that's inside for ball 4. Evan Cluxton walks to lead off the top of the second, but Peter McNeil had a knuckleball to that repertoire in the offseason.
I think it's a ball. I don't. I think.
Yeah, and if you're with us on TikTok, make sure you check out our YouTube link. You can find it in the TikTok bio. Better overall streaming experience on YouTube. Curveball outside to Zane Phillips. 1 ball and no strikes. Hits the top part of the zone for strike 1, 1-1. Swing and miss there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Zane Phillips. Curveball hits Zane to chase. And that's out number 1. On the top of the second.
There's that curveball early in the game. First inning, Peter was working that inside on most of the right-handed batters, and now he's starting at middle of the zone and it's starting to fall off into the left-handers batter's box.
It's gross, especially when he's got that riser working. And
it's got the spin of like a fastball almost. I mean, it's just weird to see it drop like that.
Alex Ballard for the Cyclones. Count is 2-0 to him. That's low. 3 balls, no strikes now to Ballard. High and outside for ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Runners now at first and second. For 1 away for Jeremy Langstead, who was claiming that he had an inside the park home run in his last at bat, but truly it was a single. And ended up scoring 2 runs.
Yeah, a couple overthrows happened, and I know he wants to add that home run to his resume, but I don't know about that one.
0-2 here to Langstead. Swing and a miss on the drop. And Jeremy Langstead steps in and strikes out.
God, he said that so happily.
That's 2 out. That's 2.
2 away in the top of the second.
Those are keys.
Evan Clugston is going to come back up to the plate for the Cyclones. He's been hot today.
That was the same, like,
Couple of singles, just barely missed a home run in his first at bat.
2 for 2 so far today with, like you said, a walk, 2 hard singles, missing a home run by about 6-7 inches. Runners on first and second for him with 2 outs, trying to add on to the lead.
Pitch to Evan Clugston, outside. Ball 1-1-0. Popped up into the air. Cole Blevins is right underneath it. He bobbles it, but is able to hang on for out number 3. Great job there from Cole Blevins. No run score for the Cyclones. They lead it 2-0. We go to the bottom of 2. Barrett Carlo will lead it off for the Stingers in the bottom of the second. Way outside, 2 balls, no strikes, now to Carlo. Strike 1, and look at Jack Blayhouse out there, just trying to get the best shot.
Just always working the angles, you know. He's hardest working guy out here. He's not even playing the game.
2-2 to Barrett Carlo. It's a great job. You got to think his arm's going to get tired at some point.
Be interested to see how long he stays in that position for.
Full count now to Carlo. Swing and a miss, and Evan Clugston gets him on the slider. 1 away in the bottom of the second. Up steps Drew Tenzar. Struck out in his first at-bat of the 2023 season. But here we go, second at-bat. Side ball 1, 1-0. Strike 1. And Jack didn't stay out there too long. I don't blame him. That was a tough tough angle to hold.
Yeah, I was just waiting until the ball got redirected right back at him. It wasn't going to take long for him to get out of there.
Yeah. 2-1 here to Drew Tenzar. Swing and a miss for strike 2, and that's it's tough for Peter McNeil and Drew Tenzar. Taking a whole off season off, and coming back and having to face one of the best pitchers in the league in Evan Clugston.
Evan won't mind that at all, I'm sure.
Swing and a miss there. Down goes Tenzar. He strikes out for the second time today. 2 away for Cole Blevins.
Evan's got a 0.62 ERA so far this season, so he's just dicing up the opponent so far.
Yeah. He's been tough to hit off of.
24 strikeouts also to go along with it.
I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't know who's leading in the strikeout category, but I would have to imagine Clugston is at least in the top 3.
He's definitely up there. I think the matchup we had last week, the pitching matchup between him and Dom, I think that features the top 2 strikeout leaders right now.
The former teammates and former World Series champions.
The rest of the league was happy when they heard that those 2 split up.
Thank goodness, right? Swing and a miss from Cole Blevins there. No balls, 2 strikes. It was too fast on the gun. 0-1 remains the count, no pitch. Swing and a miss there, wouldn't have mattered, 0-2. Now to Cole Blevins. Swing and a miss and down. Technically on 4 pitches, but Cole Blevins strikes out there. No runs score for the Stingers in the bottom of the second. We go to the final inning in game number 1. Cyclones lead it 2-0. St. Phillips leads it off for the Cyclones. Again, this top of the third. 0-1 is the count for Phillips. High for ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just a bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Phillips singled earlier in the game. Nice hard hit ground ball down the third base side.
Still looking for his first home run of his AWA career.
Swing and a miss. Zane Phillips strikes out to begin this top of the third. 1 away for Alex Ballard. Central Cyclones have a nice little lead here in the final inning, but insurance runs always help in the AWA. You never know. You never know what can happen in this final inning.
Especially with the third inning rule of no run limit. I mean, that's always got to play a factor. And when you're the visiting team, I mean, you never know how your pitcher's going to come out in the third inning, and got to add on as much as you can.
I mean, we saw a few series ago between the Aces and the Wolfpack. Wolfpack were leading by 9 runs heading that bottom half of the final inning, and they ended up losing the game.
Yeah.
And gave up 10 runs in the bottom of the third. High and deep, and it's out of here. Alex Ballard, a solo home run. Adds another one on for the Central Cyclones. They now lead it 3-0. And there's that insurance run that we were just talking about for the Cyclones, adding another one on. Lead is now 3 runs. Good job there from Alex Ballard.
Dingers are
Drive over to Tenzar at third. He throws to first. It's not going to be in time to get Langstead. Langstead on with the single. One on and one away for Jackson Carr. It's the zone. Strike one. Ground ball over to Jordan Rice at second. Throws to first. Not going to be in time to get Carr. Langstead will advance to third on the throw. Runners on first and third for the Cyclones as they keep this top of the third going. And Evan Clugston will step in, looking to add another run on here for the Cyclones.
Just got under that pitch last at bat. Almost went yard.
Ooh, nice cut.
Just got over it.
Miss.
Just that bad.
Nice
1 to Evan Clugston. Hits the zone for strike two. A nasty pitch from Peter, able to hit the bottom part of the zone. And gets Evan Clugston to swing and miss at the curveball. A 3-pitch strikeout. And a massive one for the Stingers. Trying to get out of this jam. 2 away. Zane Phillips will step back up for the Cyclones.
Great job by Peter there to really just shut it down and say, see you later, Evan, and get out of here. 2 outs now.
Especially after Evan was having so much success earlier in the game off of Peter. A quick 0-2 to Zane Phillips. And that's another 3-pitch strikeout. Peter McNeil able to get back-to-back strikeouts to end the top of the third, but a run scores for the Cyclones thanks to a solo home run for Alex Ballard. Cyclones lead at 3-0. We go to the bottom of the third.
He's in a different bat.
Peter McNeil up to the plate here in the top of the third. That's just a gross pitch from Evan Clugston. 0-1. The count.
Absolutely dotted at the top of the zone.
Fouls that one off. Peter in a tough 0-2 count.
Yeah, he doesn't like.
Strike 3, a 3-pitch strikeout, and there's 1 away. Bottom of the third. Cyclones looking to hold on, up 3-0, trying to close this game out.
Since the first inning, Evan gave up those first 2 hits and the first 2 batters to Jordan and Barrett. He hasn't given up a hit since.
It's impressive. He's really settled in. That's outside, and that's something that I've noticed with Evan as well. Is the beginning of the game tends to be a little shaky, but then he just really dials it in. Way outside for ball 2, 2-0 here to Jordan Rice.
That's all right. That's all right.
Miss, 2 balls, 1 strike. Slider hits him for ball 3. And if you're the Stingers, you just need base runners at this point. Any way you can get on, do it. 3-1. It's the zone. Great job from Evan Clugston. Able to bring the count full. Ball's 2 strikes. And is able to sit down Jordan Rice. 2 away in the bottom of the third, and the Stingers are now down to their final out.
Just a tough at bat. I mean, Jordan's ahead 3-1. You think that's a hitter's count, and then Evan comes back and just throws 2 of the dirtiest pitches he has all day. I mean, what can you do if you're Jordan?
It's huge too when you're down 3-1, especially in the AWA where it's so hard to throw strikes. Come back in a situation like that and get him. Great job from Evan Clugston. Tripped high and deep. It's got a chance. He's going to hit the wall. Barrett Carlo chugging for 2. He's going to get there. Nobody covering third. Jeremy Langstead overthrows it, and Barrett Carlo is going to score. Barrett Carlo, what a job. He gets the Stingers up on the board here in the bottom of the third. Stingers still down 2, but what a job from Carlo. Able to get a run in. Drew Tenzar up now for the Stingers. He looks at ball 1. 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch is high to Drew Tenzar. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Drew was one of the main reasons the Stingers did so well last year in the World Series. Got really hot.
It was major. I mean, he was an incredible pickup for the Stingers last season. A rookie last year, hit very well for the Stingers team. And like you said, Chase, was ultimately one of the reasons why they won the World Series. I mean, the Stingers going into last year were not an anticipated favorite for a World Series championship, but they were resilient and were able to beat the Enforcers.
They just got hot at the right time, right? That's what it's always about. Who's feeling themselves. Just the confidence that no one else can beat us, and that's what ultimately led them to champagne celebration at the end.
It's the zone, and that was tough. That was a tough pitch to Cole Blevins. He's down 0-2. Stingers down to their final strike. And that's exactly what Evan Clugston does. Strike 3 gets Cole Blevins to swing and miss, and the Cyclones win game 1. Final score 3-1. Cyclones take an early 1-0 lead on the Stingers. We're about to get game number 2 started here momentarily, but make sure if you are on TikTok, head on over to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube link is in the bio. Join our YouTube live stream. We'll be back momentarily for game number 2. We have Robert on the field with the Stingers team captain, Peter McNeil.
All right, Peter, so tough injury rehab for you. Talk about that process to get back and get game fit so far early in the year.
I mean, it's been okay, just taking the slow steps and, just one step at a time, getting back into the game and into the rhythm and, just doing what I can to get healthy.
Yeah, so you were on rhythm today. Curveball looked pretty good. How comfortable do you feel with your pitches so far, even though this was a tough first one?
Pitches feel fine. I mean, I was hitting my spots. I mean, I had my stuff there, and I think, this next game will be okay. It's just it's part of the game. So,
good process for you. What are your expectations for game 2?
Game 2, just continue to execute. Let's not make the little mistakes, and I think we'll do well.
Awesome. All right, back up to the booth, guys. Good stuff, man.
Thank you, man.
Come on. Yep.
And you just heard from team captain of the Southern Stingers, Peter McNeil. Again, if you are with us on YouTube or TikTok, wherever you are, we just had game number 1 of the 3-game series between the Stingers and the Cyclones. Just ended. Cyclones won that game at 3-1. We're about to get game number 2 started here shortly. go. First pitch of game number 2. Evan Clugston up for the Cyclones. And Peter McNeil on the mound for the Stingers. First pitch is in there for strike 1. 1-1. Swing and a miss there from Evan Clugston. He's now behind 0-2. Ripped on the ground, past Barrett Carlo. Jordan Rice throws to first and is unable to get Evan Clugston.
Cole was way better last year. I think he got the gold glove guarantee.
Runner on first.
The gold hand.
Nobody out. Zane Phillips to the plate
Still 4?
for the Cyclones.
Evan staying hot. Getting ripping a base hit. Second game.
Fouls that one off for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. And you mentioned it, Chase. I mean, Evan has been really hot. Not only on the mound, but also at the plate.
Providing that spark for the Cyclones offense.
1-1 is the count to Zane Phillips. That ripped down the third baseline.
We played soccer together.
Evan Clugston will hold up at second. A single for Zane Phillips. Runners now on first and second. Nobody out for Alex Ballard. That's outside for ball 1. Ballard got a solo home run. Game number 1. He'll lead the Cyclones to a 3-1 game 1 win. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count to Ballard. So that's inside for ball 2.
And Evan lead the Cyclones in home runs with 2 home runs apiece.
Outside ball 3.
What's the count? 3-1, isn't it? 3-1.
Pitch hits the zone for strike 2. Good job from Peter, able to hang in there. Full count now to Ballard. Curveball hits the zone, freezes Ballard. And that's out number 1.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
In the top of the first. Great job from Peter there. He was down 3-1, comes back, strikes out Ballard.
Nice job by Peter there to come back after letting the first 2 guys on and getting the first out of the game for the Stingers.
The best guys are the guys that never take it.
Jeremy Lankstead comes up for the Cyclones. Lankstead drove in a couple of runs last game for the Cyclones. Ended up being the difference. 0-1. Count to Lankstead. That's high and deep. It's going to stay in the yard. Jordan Rice able to make the grab.
Oh, wait, Jackson's
It's out number 2.
Damn it, Mark.
Jackson Carr is going to step in for the Cyclones.
What'd I do? Come on, man.
Jackson Carr. Runners on first and second, trying to give the Cyclones an early lead here in game 2. Looks at strike 1.
Oh, yeah. Owned him.
It's the zone for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Bounced that one back. Almost hit me.
Looks like you got scared there for a second, Mark.
That reminded me of that one meme, or where the foul ball comes back and hits the camera and breaks it.
Oh yeah.
That's what it felt like. Ground ball over to Peter McNeil, gets past him. Everybody's gonna be safe. Single from Jackson Carr. Bases loaded with 2 away.
It only comes 2 times.
And now up steps Evan Clugston. Might be one of the hottest hitters in the league.
4 hits today for Evan. Some nice hard shots. Took a ball to right field that almost went out. Looking for his first home run on the day.
Pitch on the way to Clugston is a curveball, and it's low for ball 1. Ball again is ripped into right field. Alex Ballard scores. Zane Phillips scores a 2 RBI single for Evan Clugston. And the Cyclones out to an early 2-0 lead in the top of the first. Evan Clugston just continues to stay hot for the Cyclones.
That was a nice display of hitting right there by Evan. He'd been smashing the ball down the third base line all game and took that pitch and drove it the opposite way with a nice line drive.
2-0's the count to Phillips as he swings and misses there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Zane's 3-1.
Swinging very hard up there.
Zane's had some success here today. Hits the zone for strike 2. Just barely get that to hit, and Zane Phillips swings and misses there. He strikes out. The Stingers get out of a jam, but 2 runs score thanks to an Evan Clugston 2 RBI single. Cyclones lead at 2-0. We go to bottom of 1.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. The amount of times I see someone ground bag it at 8 a.m. on my way to work, I'm like, oh, that's tough.
Like the good old burnt tinfoil roast.
It must be his birthday. Every day.
Let him play.
Hey, put me in the suit. You ready, Evan?
Yeah. Oh, no. We're all legal adults here. So.
We are. We actually are.
I love sometimes people live in their own little world.
Pitch on the way to Jordan Rice.
I was gonna say,
It's fouled off. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. It's zone strike 2. What a pitch there from Clugston. No balls and 2 strikes now to Rice. Swing and a miss, and Jordan Rice down on strikes. 1 away. The bottom of the first. Barrett Carlo steps in for the Stingers. It's for ball 1-1-0.
Nice move by Barrett to get the bat.
Popped up over to Evan Clugston. He's able to hang on for out number 2. 2 quick outs in the bottom of the first. Evan Clugston cruising at the plate and also on the mound. Drew Tenzar up for the Stingers. Ball 1 hits him. 1-0.
Nah, dude, don't worry.
Swing and a miss. The outside pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's high for ball 2. 2-1. Swing and a miss there again. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Slider gets Tenzar to chase. Strike 3. And the Stingers go 3 up and 3 down. No runs score in the bottom of the first. Cyclones still lead it 2-0.
Hey, if you're on TikTok, make sure you head over to our YouTube
Alex Ballard leads it off in the top of the second for the Cyclones. Ball 1 to him, 1-0.
Familiar start to this game. Cyclones getting 2 runs in the first inning, and Stingers offense just starting off to a slow start this series.
Only difference is this game, they were earned runs.
Exactly. That was a nice line drive by Evan Clugston.
2-1 is the count to Ballard, as that's low for ball 3. Just a bit outside for ball 4. Ballard leads the inning off with a walk. Cyclones with the runner on first for Jeremy Langstead. Swing and a miss, nasty drop pitch. Peter McNeil gets Langstead to chase. Same exact pitch, and Langstead really wants it.
He's always looking to drive that ball over the left field wall.
And Peter threw him the same pitch 3 times in a row. Langstead swings at all 3, and he's down on strikes. Out number 1 in the top of the second.
Good or something. Wow.
That's
Who's that? Who is this? That camera on that? That me.
Is that Jackson Carr wearing a green suit?
No, it's green screen guy.
Green screen guy, he's here. Making the debut
Oh my god.
for the side. I don't even know how this is gonna go.
Yeah, I don't have the stats on green screen guy in front of me right now.
Oh, I'm about to fucking.
That's ball 1. Hits the zone. Let's go, green screen guy. Let's see what you can do.
That really distracted from how embarrassing my.
How cool it'd be if green screen guy went deep.
I think he's already my favorite player.
No doubt.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball hits the top of the zone, and green screen guy steps in and strikes out within a matter of seconds.
Peter says, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to go easy on anyone.
That drop hit, I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit it.
2 outs in the top of the second. I don't know what the Cyclones were thinking there, going with the green screen guy, but he struggled up there. Evan Clugston out for the Cyclones as that pitch hits the zone from Peter McNeil. He's really been getting that drop to work.
Yeah, he's really gotten his pitches down. Seeing he's not too nervous out there anymore after pitching game 1. He's really locking in now. All of his pitches are very close to hitting the zone.
1 ball and 1 strike, and I mean, go back to that Jeremy Langstead strikeout. I mean, Peter legitimately threw Langstead 3 of the same drop pitches in the same location, none of them for strikes, and Langstead swung at all 3. Clugston is going to be safe at first. He's able to beat that one out. Credit Evan Clugston with another single. Runners on first and second for Zane Phillips with 2 away. It's the zone, strike 1. Holds there for ball 1, 1-1 to Phillips. Curveball is fouled off the roof of the house. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Zane had a nice single down the third baseline on his first at bat today to get the run for the Cyclones.
Swing and a miss. Nasty drop pitch from Peter McNeil. And Zane Phillips strikes out for the 3rd out in the top of the second. No run score in the top of 2. Cyclones still lead it 2-0.
If I did that, Peter's like, I have Cole hitting before Drew in this lineup. That's not what I will. They just have Drew bat then.
Tenzar leads it off for the Stingers. Bottom of the second. Ball one is behind him. Ball two. 2-0 now to Tenzar. High for ball three. 3 balls, no strikes. Just barely misses the zone. Ball 4. Tenzar walks. Lead it off here in the bottom of the second.
Pier's up now.
Peter McNeil up for the Stingers.
Not supposed to hit.
It's outside for ball 1.
I think I just donated you a strikeout in the first inning.
Inside for ball 2. 2-0 to McNeil. Hits Peter for ball 3. 3-0 the count. And Evan Clugston hasn't thrown a strike here yet this inning.
Yeah, not the start you want to this inning if you're the Cyclones. 2 straight walks.
That's 8 straight balls from Evan Clugston. Great news for the Stingers. Runners on first and second. If you take a look out in right field, you'll see a QR code, and you can go to the AWA Wiffle Ball shop. Make sure you check out the AWA Wiffle Ball shop. You can buy player jerseys, t-shirts, hats, any type of merch you want from the AWA. Go to the AWA shop. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Jordan Rice. Sliders outside. Ball 2. Swing and a miss. Evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stingers trying to tie it up. We got runners on first and second.
Hits the zone for strike 3. Jordan Rice strikes out looking for out number 1. And Evan Clugston walked 2 consecutive batters on 8 straight balls, but comes back there and is able to strike out Jordan Rice. Barrett Carlo will step in for the Stingers. 1 out and 2 on. Side for ball 1, 1-0. Ripped off the tree on the third base side for strike 1. And if that was fair, that would have been gone.
Oh yeah, that would have hit the wall, no doubt.
Wow, what a pitch there from Evan Clugston. Hits the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Gets Barrett Carlo. Out number 2 in the bottom of the second. And again, after walking 2 straight batters on 8 straight balls, Evan Clugston comes back and strikes out the next 2 guys.
Big pitching by Evan right there. I mean, like we were saying for Peter, he just battened down the hatches and struck the next 2 guys out. And big at bat here for Cole now.
Cole Blevins will step in. 2 away and 2 on. Stingers down 2-0, looking to try to tie this ball game up. Fouls that one back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch hits the zone. Great pitch there from Clugston. And Clugston now ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. Drop gets Cole Blevins to swing there for strike 3. And we're going to go to the booth just to check that. He went strike 3. We got confirmation from the booth. Cole Blevins strikes out. And Evan Clugston, after walking 2, is able to get the next 3 to strike out. No run score for the Stingers. Cyclones lead it 2-0. We go to the final inning here in game 2. Make sure you join Fantasy Wiffle. You can play Fantasy Wiffle if you go to playertrader.net. Be able to draft your favorite players. Play Fantasy Wiffle Ball today. You can win prizes every single week. It's going to be a good time. You can play it for free. Fantasy Wiffle Ball.
Yeah.
3-0 here to Ballard. That's a 4-pitch walk. Alex Ballard gets on to start this top of the third. And the Cyclones find themselves in a similar position in game number 2, just like they found themselves in game number 1. Up 2-0 heading into the final inning.
Yeah, looking to add the insurance run like they were last game. Get Evan going in the bottom of the third and hopefully secure this series with this game 2 win.
Be massive.
If this thing's turned, that means Brock's recording it.
Jeremy Lankstead fouls the first pitch off. And Lankstead had an interesting strikeout his last at-bat. We'll see if he can make up for it here. He's behind 0-2.
Yeah, and it seems like Peter's plan has just been pound him inside.
That's ripped high and deep. It's in foul territory, though, and Carlo tries to go get it, but is not able to get there in time. It's going to be a long foul ball for Jeremy Lankstead. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes.
For those keeping track, that is 6 straight pitches Jeremy has swung at against Peter.
2 on the way is way outside for ball 1. Lankstead finally holds off there. Swing and a miss curveball gets Lankstead as he throws his bat in frustration. Out number 1 in the top of the third. Jackson Carr will step in for the Cyclones. After seeing green screen guy in the last at-bat, he was hitting for Jackson Carr. Now we finally see Jackson Carr back in the lineup for the Cyclones.
Yeah, obviously they didn't like what they saw from green screen guy and elected to go back to Jackson Carr.
Swing and a miss there, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cyclones just trying to continue to add on and win this series. Again, runner on first, 1 away. Curveball just missing. Brings the count full here to Jackson Carr. 3-2 is ripped high and deep over the fence. A 2-run home run for Jackson Carr. And the Cyclones double their lead. They now lead it 4-0 in the top of the third. And there are those insurance runs we just talked about.
Yeah, you know, last game Alex Ballard added on with a solo home run, and this game Jackson Carr added on with 2 runs here in the top of the third. You know, Evan's got to love that on the mound.
Clugston now gets those insurance runs that he was hoping to get. Looking for his 2nd win of the day here. 1-1 to Clugston. Tough swing and a miss there. Peter's now ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on the riser, and great job there from Peter McNeil, able to strike out one of the hottest hitters in the league. And Evan Clugston, 2nd out, in the top of the third. We're going to be looking at Zane Phillips for the Cyclones. First pitch hits the zone. Strike 1. Fouls the 2nd pitch back. No balls, 2 strikes. Curveball gets Phillips. What a pitch there from Peter McNeil. Strike 3. And that'll do it here in the top of the third. 2-run home run, and the Cyclones, they now lead it 4-0. First pitch is fouled off by Drew Tenzar. Ball's 1 strike. Ball 1-1-1. Stingers chasing 4 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Cyclones win this game, they would win the series. Cyclones won game number 1, final score 3-1, and now find themselves in a 4-0 lead here in the final inning of game number 2.
Yeah, and they're just looking to get on base, like you said, anyway, anyhow. Then they'll just need that big hit.
Great pitch there from Evan. Brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back, and Tenzar stays alive. Count remains full.
I think was going to find the zone. Way to battle right there by Drew.
Swing and a miss, and Tenzar strikes out for the first out in the bottom of the 3rd. Cyclones now just 2 outs away from taking this series. Peter McNeil will step in for the Stingers.
Evan's just been outstanding today so far. I mean, this will be his 6th inning on the day, 6th and final inning on the day, and he's given up 1 run so far. So, I mean, just everything you wanted from the Cyclones pitching-wise from Evan today. Absolute
Domination. Inside there, 1 ball and 1 strike. And, I mean, you know, we were talking about it a little earlier. Evan Clugston, there's been murmurs that he's the best pitcher in the AWA. He's really showing how he truly is the best pitcher at this time.
I mean, he's living up to the hype. What you want out of your best pitcher is for him to lock down the 2 games he pitches every time. I mean,
that's Ratai, but it's going to be foul down that first base side. Peter almost getting a hold of that one. Rips it foul.
Yeah, we've seen a lot from the Stingers today. A lot of their hard hits are going just foul. I mean, we've seen Barrett just hammer some down the 3rd base line. We see Peter going hard opposite way right there. I mean, that's a testament to Evan's hard pitching.
That's fouled off. Count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. And yeah, like you were saying, Chase, I mean, it just seems like the Stingers are either late or they're early on these pitches and they're just not hitting it just right. Ground ball to Zane Phillips at 30. Bare hands it, throws to first. It's not going to be in time to get Peter McNeil. The injured Peter McNeil beats it out. It's a tough throw for Zane Phillips at 3rd.
You hear right there from Peter. He's cheering as he gets back to the base, hobbling back to the base. I said no. He breaks up the no-hitter right there against Evan.
Great job not spoiling the no-hitter. I didn't know that.
Tried not to this time, right? Went 0 for 3 last time we did it.
Inside ball 1. I know, we messed up 3 no-hitters.
Jeez.
A couple of series ago. Was it truly our fault, though?
No. The pitchers just need to be better, if we're being honest.
3-0 to Jordan Rice. Stingers looking to get as many base runners as they possibly can here in the bottom of the 3rd. And that'll hit Jordan for ball 4. Stingers now with 2 runners on for Barrett Carlo. Barrett's hit some really hard foul balls today. See if he can get one in play here.
Yeah. Got the tying run on the on-deck circle in Cole Blevins.
1-0 to Barrett. It's behind him for ball 2. Ball might be slipping in Clugston's hands. He's thrown now 7 straight balls. 3-0 to Carlo. just high for ball 4. And now this is getting interesting as that'll bring up the tying run to the plate for the Stingers. Cole Blevins will step in, bases juiced and only 1 away.
He's 0 for 1 today as a walk against Evan his last at bat, 1 strikeout.
First pitch is inside. Swing and a miss on the riser. Count is 1-1.
Cole's a guy with sneaky pop, you know. He's got 9 career home runs, and he gets his pitch, and he can definitely take it out on you.
Cole, a very solid player for this Stingers team. Plays excellent in the field, and as you mentioned, solid hitter. Be massive if he could come through here for the Stingers. Ground ball right back to Clugston on the mound. He throws home and will get the hobbling Peter McNeil for the out. That's out number 2. Bases remain loaded for Drew Tenzar. Critical situation for the Stingers. Tying run, the plate and Tenzar, 2 away. As the Stingers are looking to try to even this series at 1 game apiece. The slider's outside. Tenzar looking at a nice hitter's count here at 2-0. That's low for ball 3. And that's way outside for ball 4. Tenzar walks on 4 pitches, and that brings a run across for the Stingers. Their first run of the game, second run of the series. And the go-ahead run now comes up to the plate, and Peter McNeil for the Stingers. Way outside for ball 1.
Huge at bat here. I mean, Evan just needs 1 out, but the Stingers just need 1 swing.
Low again, and Clugston is just struggling with that control right here in a critical situation. McNeil looking at a nice 2-0 count. Popped up into the air, and this might do it. Langstead is underneath it and makes the grab for the final out. The Cyclones, they hold on, and they win it 4-1. Cyclones, they're gonna take this series as they lead it 2-0. We're gonna head to game 3 as the Stingers look to try to avoid a sweep. If you're joining us on TikTok, make sure you head on over to YouTube. Link for our YouTube channel is in the bio. We'll be getting game number 3 started momentarily. Stick around.
Got a duo of Evan and Jackson here. Jackson, I got to ask you first, what's up with the green screen guy? He didn't do as well as you did.
Hey, he's an old friend of mine. He's new to the league. He's picking it up. I'm proud of him for giving it a shot. I think next time he's going to put it out of the park, though.
Do you feel like he's going to make a second appearance soon?
Oh, certainly. I know he's hungry for more, and he's ready to get the bat on the ball.
You finally got a hit today, unbeknownst to you. How did it feel to finally get on board this year, I guess?
I was a little surprised that was my first hit. I could have sworn I had a couple in the first game, but you know what? I'm starting from the bottom, and I'm on my way up.
Oh, my God, Drake lyrics out here? Jeez. Evan, good pitching, but a 2 RBI, good first game as well. What are you expecting Game 3?
Just continue hitting. I mean, I'm not pitching no more, so I just got to work on my hitting now.
All right, great stuff. All right, back up to the booth. Good stuff, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for that, Robert. As we get ready to start Game 3, I'll be taking over from Mark Campanero in the booth. As we get the lineups confirmed for game number 3. Looking at Jordan Rice, sub-3 ERA after opening day. He had to pitch 2 games because Captain Peter McNeil wasn't here. And really what's worked for him, Chase, is he's kind of, his signature knuckleball, he's kind of laid off pitching it as much as he has in the past.
Yeah, you know, he's infamous knuckleball's been seen around the league a bunch, you know, so I mean, trying to hold off on it as the hitters start to pick up on it, and tries to slowly get it back in his repertoire.
Yeah, and when that pitch is working, it's the best pitch in the league, but that's a big if. You know, his control issues were a part of his 5.5 ERA last year, which is about average, on par with AWA standards.
Mm-hmm.
But when that pitch is working, and I believe it was working last year to start the season, it was unhittable, and I think he threw 1, if not 2, no-hitters last year.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, when that thing's working, it's easily the toughest pitch in the league, and that thing just dances all over the plate as it gets to. I mean, it dances all over as it gets to the plate, and it's honestly, you might as well just close your eyes and try to hit it, right? I mean, because you have no clue where that thing is going.
And with that, Cole Blevins, the first baseman, is back on the field, and we get ready to start first pitch of Game 3. Stingers trying to avoid the sweep. Evan Clugston will lead it off.
Evan's been hot today. 4 or 5 hits for him. Still looking for a home run.
So he takes that inside, 2-0. Evan Clugston, one of the early favorites for MVP, as that ball's hit hard to Cole, just foul. Cole looks like he might have had a play at that, but out. That's a foul ball. Foul ball. We got Jeremy just making up stuff on the sideline. That's 2-1.
Credit to the Stingers for not giving up on the play, right?
Let's say, but Evan Clugston, you always know the pitching's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hitting that's really surprised a lot of people this year.
Yeah, 2 home runs early in the season so far. Doesn't have one today, but
loses a ball.
Coming into the series today, he was leading the team in home runs. So, yeah, I mean, that's if he can keep that up this season, we might see a different Evan Clugston at the plate.
As he strikes out on the deadly knuckleball, 1 away. And right when we give him props for his hitting, he strikes out.
And, you know, I've never been a leadoff hitter, but it must be tough to be the first guy to, you know, you don't know if Jordan's got it on or not, so you kind of got to be the sacrificial lamb to a sense.
Zane Phillips steps in, the first pick of the Cyclones in the 2023 draft. He will be pitching today. What have you liked from his game so far?
I think he's gotten off to a little slow start, but, you know, his pitching, I think it's going to be really solid. He's got 2 or 3 pitches that he's really good at. He's been hitting the ball a lot better today, and, you know, if he can drive it, the Cyclones will have all 5 teammates with a home run.
The big question for the Cyclones was how are they going to replace that as Zane Phillips swings at a nasty knuckle there. How are they going to replace the offense of Dominic DeMiro as that ball is shot hard past Cole Blevins, and Zane's on with a single. And with the 2 rookies of Zane Phillips and Alex Ballard, they might have found something.
Yeah, Alex has been huge for the Cyclones. He has a home run in back-to-back series right now. That walk-off last week, and then patted the run earlier in the first game. So, I mean, he's looking good to start the season also.
He was a late add to the Cyclones roster after one of their draft picks wasn't able to commit. That's why he has no name on his jersey.
I was wondering about that. Rocking a number 42, the nameless 42.
He destroys the backstop there. 2-2.
Didn't know if he hit the ball or the strike zone there.
Peter McNeil, team captain, will be DHing today in this game. As he swings that one right there, strike 3, and that'll be 2 outs in the inning. And here steps Jeremy Langstead, who had the inside the Parker in game 1. Who knew he had that kind of speed?
Oh, yeah, he was letting us hear it up here in the booth about how that should be an inside the park home run. We ended up giving it to him, so.
What? Swings there.
Swing speed 110.
2 and 1.
That's money. Is it actually? Yeah, it's at 54.
That's a hard hit, well, soft hit roller to Jordan Rice, and that'll be 3 outs. Great inning for Jordan Rice as we head to the bottom of the first.
Head on over to YouTube. We have the link in bio.
And getting ready to start the top of, or the bottom of the first inning. Zane Phillips will be pitching. The rookie, 5 ERA as we look at Jeremy Langstead at first base. Fantasy Wiffle Ball, free to play, playertrader.net/AWA. Play with any of your favorite players from AWA Wiffle Ball. Create a lineup and win weekly prizes. The highest priced player, as that almost hits us in the booth, this week was Evan Clugston of the Central Cyclones, and judging by his pitching performance today, you can see why.
Yeah, I think he's going to be up there again this week. He's got a couple base knocks today, great pitching. I mean, gave up only 2 runs over 2 games. I mean, that's great fantasy right there. A bunch of strikeouts, and had that 2 RBI single there in the second game also. So, I mean, filling up your roster for you.
And if you're looking at that QR code, see if you can scan it. As Jordan Rice will step in here in the bottom of the first. Bit high there, 2-0. Fouls it off there, Zane Phillips, heavy slider pitcher.
He's got a sinker and riser to his game. Tends to drop down for the sinker. Drop his arm slot down.
That almost hits Jordan there, 3-1 now. And that'll miss. Ball 4 to Jordan Rice. And that's kind of the trend we noticed with Zane. He's got some good pitches, but just kind of down in the strike zone trying to find and limit these walks.
Yeah, it's one thing to have all the pitches and all the movement, but when you get out here and actually see that zone, it's a lot smaller than you anticipate, and it's a big adjustment. I was talking to Zane before the game, and he was saying, yeah, he tries to work on his pitching at home, but said when he got out here that the zone was a lot smaller than the one he had back at home, so I mean, it's a bit of adjustment for him.
And unlike baseball, you know, it's tough to replicate this specific setup. You know, we got a mound, we got a specific distance, which is 36.5 feet. So it's tough to replicate. You know, you can pitch on a flat ground, but once you're up a foot, you know, it's really hard to kind of get that arm angle right.
Yeah, and when you finally get someone stepping in the box against you, it's a whole different ball game.
Just a bit wild right now.
It's all about finding that rhythm out there.
And we knew this was going to be the case with the Cyclones. They have Evan Clugston, perennial Cy Young, but after that, it's who's going to be pitcher number 2. Drew Tenzar takes that one, tries to take it absolutely deep, hits him. Huh? Yep. You're next. He switched it, yep. So Peter McNeil is... Peter McNeil now up. The Stingers have had issues with their lineups today. One team member tells us one lineup and they decide.
Hasn't been us.
With that, Peter McNeil will step in. Bases loaded after 3 straight walks. And that is just foul. If it hits that hill over on the left side, it is a foul ball. Another hard hit ball foul. He's just in front of it. So we got Drew Tenzar working on his golf game at first. Don't really know what's going on over there. 0-2 count as Peter waits for his teammate. And that is in play, and it might be in the gap, and everyone's safe. RBI single for the Southern Stingers, and they take their first lead of the series.
Nice at bat by Peter there. Zane was finally finding the strike zone. Peter was free swinging that at bat.
And, you know, the toughest part of, facing Evan Clugson is when you get to that third game, everyone's just going all out. They want to get some hits. Nobody wants to walk or strike out, obviously. But, there's a little bit of a urgency to hitting once you get to game 3 because you've just been sitting there striking out all day.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for the Stingers, they only have 2 runs total on the day. So, I mean, the offense has been lacking, and I'm sure these guys are really wanting to hit.
Cole does well to fight that off, despite the Stingers' miraculous Cinderella story World Series championship last year. No one counted them. They lead the league in teams being no-hit. As he strikes out Cole Blevins, Zane's first strikeout of the day.
It's an interesting stat there. I mean, obviously they're probably not too proud about that stat. I mean, last game you heard Peter. I mean, he was hobbling back to first base and he had a smile on his face because he broke up the no-hitter.
Yeah.
So I mean, must be something that they make sure not to do every day.
Jordan swings hard at that right to Jackson. And almost goes for the double play, but smartly lays off of it, and that'll be 2 outs in the inning. The Stingers have never really been a big offensive team. They really just leaned on the pitching of Jordan Rice and Peter McNeil. But, once again, when you're facing Evan Clugson games 1 and 2, that's kind of the result you're expected to get.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day when you're facing the Cyclones and Evan's on like he was today. But yeah, like you were saying, the thing that the Stingers really rode last year in their World Series run was the pitching. I mean, Peter I was in that World Series against him, and his pitching just was at another level. I mean, something I'd never seen before.
And just like in the MLB, the most valued position in AWA is the pitcher. And if you have a good pitcher like Evan Clugston, they can carry the team.
Yep. And we saw it earlier. I mean, he carried the Cyclones to a series win today already.
And strike 3 from Zane Phillips. That will be the 3rd out of the inning. And despite all the walks, he gets out of the jam and only gives up 1 run. Of the Cyclones. He's had a productive day today. What? You're up. Two and 0 to Jeremy Langstead. Swings right there, and part of the reason why the Cyclones did well last year was Jeremy started to get in a groove after. So that's just low. 3 and 1. Started to really find his stride after being a rookie in 2021.
Yeah, Jeremy tends to be a jokester a lot of the time, but when he gets his pitch, he can really send that ball over the left field wall. And a couple games against him last year, I remember he had 2 or 3 home runs in specific series and just got hot for them.
Jeremy will walk. And Jordan gives up his second base runner of the day. Jackson Carr steps in. He had that big home run to secure the series win in game 2. Wait.
Evans up.
And we are back. Evan Clugston is now batting. That's low. 2-0. Three and 0 count now to Evan Clugston as he looks on to Jordan Rice. Here in the top of the second. Does not swing, and that'll be a walk again for Evan Clugston. And sometimes when you see a pitcher dueling out there, it's because the batters are swinging at poor pitches.
So Jackson, I have you after game.
Zane Phillips will step in now, trying to help out his cause. One and 0 count. And that ball's hard hit to Cole Blevins, the Gold Glover. He makes the catch. And honestly, Jeremy at second base had a shot at tagging up, but decides to hold. It'll be 1 out.
Would have been an interesting decision by Jeremy if we saw him run there, I think.
It'll be strike 1 to Jackson Carr. 1 and 1 now. Jackson Carr, one of the 2 lefties on the Cyclones. As that ball is hit into the gap, and he makes the play as Jeremy almost tries to truck him. But that'll be a fielder's choice out for Jackson Carr. There's now 2 outs in the inning after an unlucky hit to the shortstop, Barrett Carlo. Alex Ballard fouls that off. 0-1. Alex Ballard has hit very well his first 2 games in the league, and he's in the conversation for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's got a home run today, a home run last series. I mean, if he keeps hitting home runs and playing some good defense, I mean, he'll be right up there.
2-1 count. You can see Jordan really stepping away from the knuckleball. Just going straight to that screwball.
2 outs though, bases loaded.
And Jeremy is right back up. So that just misses.
Let's see if Jeremy will. I know when he likes to go yard, he tends to take his hair down, so I mean, I'm sure he'll be looking to do that right now.
As he looks at a pitch right down the middle. It's like the whole Stingers team has elected to take off their hat.
Protest.
And Jeremy Langside will step in with the man bun. Fun fact, he's the only player ever to have a man bun in the AWA. 2-1 count. Nasty pitch right there, evens the count. 2-2 now. Swing, strike 3, and Jordan Rice gets out of the inning. Keeps the score 0-1, and we're headed to the bottom of the second. got a dog over at first base.
Drew didn't even realize that that he was down the first baseline. That could have been.
Hopefully pulls one hard to hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, don't show that. Don't show that. Oh, that's Drew Tenzar on the camera. And that's in play. Beats it by a step. We'll go to the booth. We'll look at the replay. But upon review, it looks... What do you think, Booth? Safe. And we keep it as safe field. Call on the field stands. And Drew Tenzar is there with the single. Peter McNeil with the backwards hat steps in. Watches one bounce in there, ball one. Peter McNeil really doesn't care about the strikeout. He's there to swing the bat.
Yeah, I mean, we love that mentality here. I mean, who cares how many times?
As that's in play as a defensive, and hobbled Peter. Great play from Zane to throw it around Peter there. He could have just nailed him, but regardless, it is a productive out. He will advance the batter for the first out of the inning. Cole Blevins will step in. He's had a bit of a struggle here. Most people have when they face Evan Cluxton, but he's really known for his character and his defensive first baseman.
You know, Cole, he's known to have some sneaky power. Like me and Mark were saying last game, he's got 9 career home runs in the AWA, and the Stingers put him in a good position. Like last game, bases loaded with him up. I mean, they were forced to pitch to him and ended up drawing the walk and productive at bat.
Swings right under that one. 1 and 2 now the count. Cole Blevins had 2 walk-offs last season. Oh, no pitch then. Speed check. 1 and 1. That's a nasty pitch. 1 and 2. And that'll be strike 3 to Cole Blevins. You feel better, Jeremy? No. As Jeremy chirping out there, there'll be 2 outs in the inning.
When isn't Jeremy chirping, right?
Yeah. We're here for the protection of all players.
Yeah.
Got to make sure everyone's having a good time.
Zane cleans it up here. He's walking a bunch of guys on the first inning. Now he's got a quick 2 outs with a runner on second.
Jordan thinks about that there. Looks at ball 1. Swings over the top on the change of pace. 1 and 1. Fouls that back. 1 and 2 now the count. And Zane's got that high curveball working a bit here. And that's a hard hit ball right past Jackson. Looks like Jackson almost had a play over there at third base, but just a little bit slow on the reaction time.
Yeah, just past his fingers. I mean,
it's tough at third base. These balls come very quick, so it may look like people are moving very slow, but I think
that ball kind of just starts spinning slowly away and away and away from you, and looks like you have it, and then just misses your fingertips.
0-1 now. Evens the count. 1 and 1. Barrett Carlo was not pitching today, but he did have a no-hitter. A 1 strikeout no-hitter.
Yeah, with 1 strikeout also. Pretty impressive. Just a pitch to contact kind of game, I guess.
It'll be 3 and 1 now. And that is a foul ball. Goes to full count. Barrett wishing he had that one back. Barrett, a draft pick from last year. Hopped on the Stingers squad, helped them get to the World Series title last year. That offensive power that the Stingers desperately needed.
Yeah, and he's shown it today. He's had some hard shots just fouled on the third baseline.
Bounces in, base is loaded now. Bases loaded for Drew Tenzar, who finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting last year. His first game back this year. Hasn't necessarily found his power yet, but that, and as I say, it's a hard hit ball. And Alex Ballard, excellent quick hands to get the out at second. No runs come across, and we're headed to the 3rd inning. And we're getting ready to start the top of the 3rd inning. Evan Clugston will lead it off. 0-1 the score, and if the Cyclones can't get a run here, that'll end the game. But the Stingers trying to avoid the sweep.
Yeah, this would be a good time for Evan to drive one for his team. He's had quite a few of the RBIs for his team today.
2-0 count to the Cyclones captain. And that's a nice pitch right there. 2-1 now. Jordan going to the slider. He doesn't normally go there. Oh, a nasty knuckle. 2-2. When that knuckle's hitting, good luck.
I was just about to say, I mean, you're so focused on that knuckleball. Evan just took that slider and then he goes right back to it.
And that's in play. He does well to knock it down. Can't make the play. He turns for 2. Cole's got a play. And that is one way to get to second base.
Wow. What a productive at-bat, I guess you can say, by Evan right there. Now you got to run around second, no outs.
Score that a single advance on the throw. And team captain Evan Clugston will get the second base scoring position for the rookie Zane Phillips, looking to help himself out on the mound.
Just a scrappy way to get on right there by Evan, giving the team a chance to tie the game in the top of the 3rd.
1-0. And there's that knuckle. When you see a knuckleball, there's a few pitchers that have a good knuckleball in the league, but once you start seeing it moving, it almost shuts your brain off. You know, if it's moving that fast, moving that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those pitches where you just got to almost put all your mind and effort into hitting that one pitch.
That's unfortunate right there, as he did go. One of those pitches where it looks like Zane made up his mind he was swinging.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he thought the knuckleball was going to be dancing back in on that or something.
What's the count?
Just misses by a half inch, and we go to full count, 3-2. Does well to fight it off. We look at the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Swinging strike 3, and that is a huge out from Jordan Rice. And that'll be 1 out here in the inning. Up steps Jackson Carr. Jackson, the other lefty on this Cyclones lineup.
Very rare to see 2 lefties in one lineup.
Swinging at the knuckleball. It would have been a strike. And hits him 1-1. And that is a slow roller. He knocks it down, and he will be safe at 3rd and safe at home. They tie the game. Jordan had a chance to tag him out. We're going to go to the booth. But at first look, it looks like he was not tagged.
Well, he's pegged. Yeah, no, I just pegged at 3rd. Pegging doesn't count this year. Yeah, new rule.
And upon review, he's safe.
That's a great call.
Safe.
We got the cameras out there.
If he was tagged, why did you throw the ball at him?
I didn't throw it. He said he pegged him because he like tagged him and he dropped it. I tagged it and then after I hit the
So if you tagged him and you dropped it, then it's just like baseball.
That's not a tag.
Glove.
At all.
Okay, we're going back to the booth.
How's that any different? How's that any different than a peg?
Booth.
Touches and it drops it. What's the difference in touching it? I was already on the base, though. My left foot was already on the base. Like this. How would a drop ball be any different than a peg? It's a routine. Just out of curiosity.
Okay, and Jeremy has confirmed he is out.
What?
I thought he was safe, and then Jeremy just questioned the logic, and he is now out. Good job, Jeremy. That'll be 2 outs. Jeremy helping out the Stingers right there. We don't have a good angle right there. The body was turned, and Jeremy literally just...
That's a soft move, Jack, I'll be honest. That's soft.
As that is 1-1 count now for Alex Ballard.
That's soft. Oh, that was 61? That was 61. All right. 1-0.
61 on the gun, it'll be 1-0. 2-0 count now. And Alex Ballard steps in. So that's a hard pitch right there, but 2-1 now the count.
This will be a good time for Alex to get one of his nice home runs over the left center wall.
Swinging over the top of that one, 2-2. Got him, strike 3, and that'll end it on a call that the Cyclones would have been able to tie the game.
That's soft, Jack, I'll be honest.
Jeremy, I didn't tell you to tell me that the Stingers got you out.
I was just asking the commissioner a question.
Well, you confirmed it right there. And that'll be game. The Stingers avoid the sweep on an interesting call that was confirmed by the Cyclones.
Yeah, what an interesting series we had here today. We saw Evan just pitch his mind out, and then the Stingers just came out and won a 1-0 game. Both teams had 3 hits, but the Stingers ultimately came out and fought off the sweep.
And with that, we look forward to next week. That'll be another week of fantasy wiffle ball in the books. And we will send it down to the field for Robert, who is with Jordan Rice.
I didn't want to drill anybody. All right. Just sneak in a practice pitch.
And we are sending it down to Jordan and Robert right now.
All right, Jordan, good pitching, good end. Got a few hits this game. I mean, tough losing 2-1, but still a great game to end it on, you think?
Yep, good win, good positive way, so we can come back next series and hopefully we can pick up where we left off.
Well, how do you feel about the hits today for you?
I was hitting the ball pretty solid, just unfortunately it goes to him sometimes, and that's just baseball.
How'd you feel about the end of the game?
Hey, a win's a win. I'll take it.
You'll take it with some controversy. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff.